I'm in Salad and I saw Star Trek the original series episode 3, Where No Man Has Gone Before. It is directed by James Goldstone, written by Samuel A. Pepys, and if you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. This episode starts when we're following the USS Enterprise, and they found a ship that has been lost to space 200 years ago, and I'm like, wow, we've been exploring for 200 years? That's nice. It makes me feel like I have hope in humanity again, being all earthbound and such like that. But you know, they've been in space for about 200 years. They have records incomplete, but I do like this one detail. Oh, give me some information on ESP people. And it's like, what does ESP mean? Extrasensory perception? Some sort of godlike powers as shown later in the episode. So we got, what's great about this is we're just gonna go through the space storm, and Kirk's like, we gotta go find out this information, we gotta figure out information. I'm like, oh boy, do you want to know everything in the world? Are you sure about that, Kirk? I don't think so. Personally, I'm not fit to be a starship captain because I wouldn't make the decisions that would lead us to figuring out what happened to this specific spaceship. I'd be like, oh, they're really looking up a ton of information on ESP people? Maybe there's some ESPs on board. Maybe that got them, but it's been a while ago. Maybe it's been a while. So of course, Kirk's like, let's go through that. Let's go through this magnetic storm. Goes through magnetic storm. And what's unfortunate is that 9 people are dead. Man, Kirk, why do you have to kill 9 people, man? I mean, I do like how he feels each death. He's so many people that he has to take care of, but each person that he has to deal with dying is another person that he feels for. And I do like this about him as a captain, is that he actually values a person's life. No matter how small, no matter how, like, he doesn't think about it at all because he's the captain. Like, in the moment, he's thinking about other things. He's thinking about where to go, where to navigate. But he does understand that each person on the ship is valuable, and he appropriately mourns their loss. And I really like that about Kirk. There are 2 dudes, though. They go unconscious, and then they are fine, but they have some sort of glowy thing in their eyes. And so I'm like thinking, oh, maybe the magnetic storm that they passed through, they went through these 2 people, and then now they have some sort of powers. Their powers are very small for now, but they develop the powers more and more. They develop more and more powers, and I'm just thinking, oh wow, this is so much like the Charlie X episode where he discovers he has powers and then threatens to take over the ship with it. This is also another one of those episodes where somebody is like, oh, I have power, and I'm starting to get more and more power, and the only way to deal with me having so much power is to murder me. And it's like one guy first, and then it's like another chick who develops it, and you gotta murder me. And the only advice on the ship is, hey, you gotta get rid of that guy, or else he's gonna take over the ship, man. He's gonna take over. And I do like Kirk's like, no. He refuses just to murder anyone outright. Just because he's a threat to the ship, he wants to know more. He seems like he wants to see if he can save this guy. This guy is under the influence of extrasensory power ship. He's under the influence, and he's a big threat to the ship. And so obviously the logical thing would be like, hey, Kirk, maybe you should murder him. Maybe you should make sure that he's not a threat to us anymore. But of course, no, he's like, I gotta get more information. Even Spock's like, dude, if you don't terminate him now, he's going to get too powerful, or he can't control the ship, and then he's going to murder everyone and then take your ship, and since he's not going to be able to understand how to run the ship or whatever, he's also going to die too. That's my personal theory. That little extra bit was an add-on. It's my theory. I personally think that even if he did have the ship, if he ran over the ship, he had the entire, everyone's under his control, that eventually he wouldn't know how to run the ship. There'd be enough people who would be like, no, I stand with Kirk, and then they get murdered or whatever, and then enough people get murdered that he doesn't know how to run the ship properly, and so it's going to end up like the last ship, the one from 200 years ago. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I really like that we have this dude who's like, I am godlike, which is why I said godlike in the beginning. I am godlike. I have these godlike powers. I can use my mind. I can control it all, and I'm getting more powerful every day. And I'm like, man, it feels like if you don't want to get murdered so badly, why do you have to exclaim that you're godlike? Now you have all the powers in the world. You're just threatening everybody else around you. They're going to murder you. What if you instead kept those powers hidden and then just like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not going to show that I have powers or anything. I'm not even going to do that until very too late, and then everyone's got and you have everybody underneath your boot. Why does no one ever think that? Everyone's just thinking, oh, let me just showcase the powers that I have now, because if they never showcase the powers that they had now until it was way too late, then they would get the ship easy. But no, that doesn't happen. I do like the two that have the powers, though. The one guy is like, I am godlike, and then Dr. Denner, the chick, she's like, no, dude, can you like not, please? Can you not, please? I also do like how they're fighting like mentally. She weakens him, gets him to a point where like he cannot fight Kirk. Kirk has like a little gun and rock slides him, so he's not culpable of his death. The accident was, the rock slide was. He got killed by a rock slide, not Kirk. No, I'm innocent, sir. Judge, I'm innocent. I did not murder that man. It was actually the rocks that did it. And it just so happened to be a phaser that went pew at the rocks and then caused a rock slide and caused that man to be dead. No, I like that though. There's a lot of accountable deniability here that Kirk did not actually murder this dude to stop the power from spreading. I like Kirk is smart enough not to do the violence himself, but to make Earth, or whatever planet that they're on, make that place do the violence for yourself, so you are not actually on the hands for murder. So I like that. I liked it. And also there is a little bit of a, what are those records that you type up at the end of somebody's life, at the end of their service? I forget what it's called, but they're typing it up, right? Those are the typing noises, and they're just putting in the records. Oh, they did good. They served their country well. They did the utmost bestest they could. It's sad that they're gone. Sad that they're in the line of sight. Spock be like, what are you doing that for? Kirk be like, they didn't ask. They didn't ask to be magnetic and then gain a bunch of powers, a bunch of sensory powers. They didn't ask for that, so I'm going to give him a real nice, good report. And I like that about him. Man, I'm really liking Kirk, man. He's like just the most good, most upstanding person ever. I want more Kirk in the media, man. Where is this in modern media? Why is the only modern media just always about people who terrible and suck? Why can't we have like role models like Kirk again? Man, I like Kirk. Kirk is a role model. We need him back. I heard that everyone hates William Shatner on Twitter. It makes me sad. I don't know what he's like on Twitter, but that's the guy who did Kirk. He's the Kirk man, and everyone hates him on Twitter. Sad. Anyway, this was a fun episode. I like this episode a lot. Maybe like, oh wow, this guy, this Kirk man, he's got some good values. He's got some strong values. I appreciate his values. He's got the bestest of values in the world, and I appreciate about him a lot. So I think because this episode shows it's a good showcase on his values, but it's nothing too exciting that happens except for, oh, somebody's about to take over the ship again. So this episode's a solid 7.5 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want a fast track movie review, you can do that for $20 radios at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews, go to this links for you. Found the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you can go here, and until next time, mint salad sauce. You like to my sour croutons and bacon bits. Well, oh, this is cool and all, but I don't want to be here no more. Boop. Beam me up, Jess.